The story begins with us seeing a team that is traveling outside their country to play a special match. Most of these people have never been outside their country before, so this journey is very exciting for them. Some family members also accompany them to boost the team's morale. However, during the journey, when the plane reaches near the snowy mountains of Argentina, some turbulence begins. A passenger explains that Argentina's warm air collides with the cold air of the mountains, creating a tension effect, causing the plane to jolt slightly. But as the plane moves forward, the turbulence intensifies and people start to panic. The pilots try to save the plane from the stormy winds, but losing control, the plane soon crashes into a mountain. The plane breaks into two parts. One player is flung away with the rear section, while the front part continues forward and crashes into the snow. The impact causes all the seats to collide with each other, leaving many people injured or dead in different ways. Those who survive try to recover from the shock. They leave their seats to help other passengers who are trapped. Two medical students attempt to tend to the wounded, while some boys rush to the pilot, who only utters 2 words before dying. The radio isn't working either, and the storm grows even fiercer. The survivors huddle together inside the plane. Many are panicking or crying, comforting each other to keep their spirits up. When morning comes, they realize that some more people have died from the cold. The storm has passed and the sun is now blazing. They look around but see nothing except snow and mountains. They realize they must start working to survive. They pull out seats and broken debris from the plane to create a place to sleep at night. The injured are moved to a spot where the sunlight is strongest so they can be cared for. Anything that might be useful is packed into bags. They search through everyone's luggage for food. The bodies are carried a short distance from the plane and covered with snow to preserve them, hoping that when help arrives, they can be taken back. Once all the tasks are done, they eat a small portion of food, careful to ration it so it lasts longer. Suddenly, they hear the sound of a plane. They shout and wave their hands, but no one sees them. On the second night, they prepare to sleep inside the plane. They take out clothes from the bags and use them as blankets, then use the bags to block the plane's broken doorway. On the third day, Jack regains consciousness. He had been unconscious since the crash. The others explain what happened. Jack's body is badly injured, but he goes to his sister, who is also severely hurt. When he asks about his mother, they tell him she has died. Later, they use a piece of metal to melt snow for water. They arrange a large X on the ground, hoping to be spotted. When another plane passes overhead, they reflect sunlight with a mirror and shout, but the plane doesn't come to their rescue. The next day, they hear a plane again, but it's too far away, meaning rescuers are searching in the wrong place. The group discusses what to do next. Some remember that the rear part of the plane had batteries. They decide to search for it. After making makeshift sunglasses from mirrors and seat leather, 4 people set out to climb the mountain in search of the plane's tail section. But as they move farther, they realize the crash site is invisible from a distance because of the endless snow. They conclude that rescue planes have little chance of spotting them. Just then, they see an avalanche and rush back to the crash site. Days pass, and after a week, their food runs out. There are no animals or plants around. As time drags on, hunger becomes so unbearable that they start eating shoelaces and cigarette butts. Now Jack's sister also dies. A boy writes a letter to his parents describing the accident. In the following days, another storm hits. The survivors take shelter inside the plane and manage to survive. But after a few more days, half of them grow desperate. They declare that if they die, the others can eat their bodies. Then they go outside and use a piece of glass to cut meat from the corpses. Horrified, some change their minds and refuse to participate. Only 5 people hold out. The next day, they devise a method to cover most of the bodies, so they don't have to look at them while working. This makes the gruesome task slightly less painful, and those who refuse to cut meat don't have to witness it. They leave small pieces of meat in the sun to warm them up. A few days later, they find a new bag buried in the snow. Inside is a radio. They fashion a simple antenna and turn it on, but the news shatters their hearts. The government has officially called off the search. Devastated, they lose all hope. Then 3 boys decide to try once more to find the rear section of the plane. At first, they only see scattered wreckage and 5 bodies, including the player who was flung away during the crash. They press forward, but the climb is treacherous. The slippery ice and freezing wind make breathing difficult. At night, they huddle together on the mountainside, weathering the storm and trying to sleep. When they wake up, they're buried under snow but alive. They slide back down on a broken piece of the plane. For the next 5 days, a relentless storm rages. They stay inside the plane, telling stories to keep their spirits up. Suddenly, an avalanche strikes, burying the plane completely. They frantically dig through the snow to free those trapped inside. After immense effort, they rescue everyone except one woman buried too deep. She dies before they can reach her. Then a strange noise echoes. Another avalanche crashes down, burying them again. More people die, including the team's captain. The survivors quickly carve small air holes to breathe. They wait, praying amidst the sounds of shifting snow. When the storm finally passes, they crawl out. Sitting in exhausted silence, they take a moment to feel alive, then begin the grim work of digging out the plane once more. With the sunny days helping, they finally manage to dig the plane out completely. They consider sending another search party, but surviving the freezing nights outside still seems impossible. Eventually, they decide to wait a few more days. Warmer weather is coming. As time passes, the weather improves enough that 4 friends set out on another expedition. Bundled in extra layers to withstand the cold, they push forward and reach the crash site. There they find clean clothes, cigarettes, and a small amount of chocolate. They also retrieve the plane's battery and try connecting it to the radio. After much effort, they hear faint static but no response. Returning to the others, they share the good news. The tail section has been found along with some food. Days pass, but the group remains, fearful of venturing out. Even a single night in the cold could kill them. They attempt to fix the radio, but a small short circuit in the wiring ruins their efforts. Frustrated, they smash the circuit board in anger. They write a message on the plane's fuselage, listing the number of survivors. The small radio still works, and through it, they hear shocking news. After 58 days since the crash, the Air Force is sending one last plane to search for them. A heated debate erupts. Some argue they should wait for the Air Force, while others insist no one will ever spot them and they must find help themselves. Finally, 3 friends decide to make the journey. As they trek through the mountains, night falls, bringing brutal winds. They huddle together inside a sleeping bag, barely surviving till dawn. When they finally climb a high peak, their hearts sink. Endless mountains still stretch ahead. The journey is long and grueling, but they press on, descending to where the terrain becomes more rocky than icy. One friend's boot breaks, but he ties it together with cloth and keeps moving. At last, they reach a river with fresh water. As they drink, they look up. A man on horseback is watching them from the other side. The river's roar drowns out their shouts, so the man throws them paper and a pencil. They quickly write their story. The writer rushes to alert rescue services. Soon, a plane is dispatched. When the survivors are finally airlifted out and land at the airport, their families are waiting. They're rushed to the hospital for treatment, alive against all odds. The story ends with this scene. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.